Hi, Capricorn. I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome back. My name is Jackie, for those of you who are new here. And normally I mix tarot and astrology to do weekly readings addressing all areas of life. But this reading is just going to be about relationships, and there's not going to be any astrology in this one. All right, so stay tuned next week as we cover the last week of October as the sun goes into Scorpio. We're going to pull cards and address the astrology there. But for now, we're just pulling energy from spirit through the tarot for those of you who are a couple, those of you who are in separation, and those of you who are single. I'm going to timestamp below so that you guys don't have to hang out for all the different iterations of it. All right, so let's just get right into things. Remember, guys, these are general messages. Please take what resonates, throw out the rest, and don't try to make it fit. If it's not your reading, maybe we get you next time, right? You definitely want to check your rising sun, moon sign, and your Venus sign for the most complete messages. Okay, so let's get right into things for our friends who are coupled. Okay, so we're going to throw down a Celtic cross spread. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles coming up. I like it, like it. Yes. This is, I have your back, you have mine. There might be some sort of situation going on with a family situation, some sort of inheritance, some sort of money coming to you or your partner via a family, or you guys might be in the space of working through that. Right. And, you know, look, when those things are in our life, obviously it's going to impact our relationships very often. Right. So what's showing up as your current challenge to that Six of Pentacles is the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can be this energy of feeling the sense of lack. Some of you may be in a space of being very concerned about money right now. It is more the sense of lack rather than there being not saying that there wouldn't be an issue with money, but it's more about being, you know, being in that space of fearing, not having that strong foundation. Others of you can be experiencing this within the relationship as the pain and the aftermath of the breakup, where the Six of Pentacles would serve more as I have your back, you have mine. Doesn't really have to have much to do with money, but it can have to do with emotional, mental, and physical connection, right? And so here you are feeling very connected, but yet you're being challenged. You want to feel connected, but yet you're feeling challenged in the connection itself. You have a lot more support here than you realize, you know, with the Five of Pentacles, but there is that energy of feeling the sense of lack, and that sense of lack is showing up as your challenge in this relationship. So it can be straight up support. It can be having something to do with money. It could certainly be with maybe one of you, or I'm going to say both of you. I mean, I suppose that's possible, but I feel like one of you may be dealing with some sort of family situation surrounding the idea of money, and that's putting a lot of strain on the relationship. All right, so let's pull the rest of the cards, and we'll pull a couple of oracles and see what's going on. See what's going on for our Capricorn friends. I'll pull the screen down so that you guys can look at the cards, because I know a lot of people like to look at the cards. Okay. Not the easiest energy, Capricorn, but I do want to say something. Even though Mercury is coming out of retrograde on the 18th with Jupiter, I know I said I wasn't going to say anything about astrology, but okay. There may be an argument that takes place that you want to make sure you don't go into any sort of like, that's it, I'm out of here, I want a divorce, I want to get out of this relationship. You just need to be a little careful, because it does look like your patience is going to be pushed a little bit far. As I feel like you're very aware of the clock. Many of you are like, we have the TikTok, right? And the wisdom of the oracle. You're very aware of time. You're very aware of the fact that the calendar is moving forward, not backwards, as is the clock, right? And you're waiting for something to resolve itself. Some sort of lesson, though, has been learned recently coming into this energy, because you do have the World. I'm going to pull the screen down in a second. Let's just pull another oracle for you guys. Build on solid ground. So we have this idea of TikTok and build on solid ground. So it's got to be a very sort of earthy, pragmatic energy that's incited here. It does seem like. So let's drop the camera down and let's see what we have going on. First of all, coming into this energy, we have the World, and the World is Saturn. It's like a Saturn. It's like a Saturn complete. I was going to say Saturn complete, meaning when Saturn is done in a house, right, in astrology, he never leaves without dropping a gift. And it's the same idea with the world energy. This indicates to me that you've been going through something in the relationship for quite a while now, and that's going to mean something different for each of you. But it's been super challenging. But now you've learned your lesson. There's some sort of lesson that's been learned, and it's very clear. I'm like being called to go a little deep with this idea as well, because the world is Saturn, and Saturn represents father. So, and because we have the Six of Pentacles here as where you're at right now, which does indicate this idea of inheritance, it indicates family, it indicates generosity and support, often from, but most often having to do with this, some sort of connection to our past. So again, I feel like there might be some sort of like needing to square up some sort of inheritance situation. And you're feeling very sort of alone and isolated, and it's impacting your relationship for some of you. For others of you, it can be this idea of if you're with somebody and they are the father of your children, you're questioning how supportive are they of your children, of the family. And yet others of you, this world is about learning the lesson that this person that you really want to feel very connected, like I have your back, you have mine, they're really not there in the way that you would ideally like them to be. They're just not. They're not. We have the basis of the situation. We have the King of Pentacles. And this is somebody who you might be struggling with some sort of jealousy, or there could be jealousy involved. Maybe you are regarding some sort of situation that's going on with them. But this could also indicate no follow through. So you may be dealing with somebody who has a really hard time having follow through, and you're not afraid to have an argument about it, right? The Five of Wands is that battling energy. It's very competitive. It's a battle of the wills, lack of agreement, strong opinions, fighting to be heard kind of thing. It's that Saturn in Leo. So again, that Saturn energy is about restriction and delay and focusing on responsibilities. And then when it's in Leo, though, Leo is all about falling in love, love affairs, romance. So working on the relationship, literally, Saturn in Leo, working on the relationship, but there being this sort of competitive nature that's existing within this relationship. And somebody may be providing a lot of lip service, saying that they understand, saying that they've learned their lesson. You may feel that they have, they may think that they have, but when it comes time for follow through, there's a real challenge here. So what is Spirit asking you to look at as the card of advice is the Knight of Pentacles. So it's time to really look at the situation and recognize front and center what's missing. They might have a lot of beautiful stuff going for them, where on paper they look pretty amazing, but you can't not see this thing that's missing. And it's an issue. And this is something that, it's being advised for you to look at. Now, I do feel like the partner that you're dealing with is showing up as the Magician. So you might be dealing with either a Gemini or a Virgo, since the Magician is straight up Mercury, and Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. But this is about like having a conversation, Gemini, to problem solve. Virgo, right? Virgo's all about problem solving. So there's some sort of situation going on that they want to sit down and have a conversation. They really want to. It does seem like they want to have this moving forward. But you're having a very hard time with this. Like your internal block is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands, it's a fire energy. I mean, this is a very auspicious energy for new beginnings, and especially just like a new chapter of passion, new chapter of feeling motivated in the relationship. And you're having a very hard time tapping into that, Capricorn. You really are. Some of you may be feeling very sort of dispassionate about a situation. Some of you may be in a space where you're actually feeling rejected, where you're feeling there are delays going on in the relationship. For some of you may be even feeling like something going on within this connection is actually really brutal for you to deal with. It's like it's summoning up all of your energy just to sort of tolerate something. And now for even others of you, the psychological challenge could be some sort of feeling like false start. where there was maybe conversation. Okay, I see the light, right? The world energy, but it's like, okay, where's the follow through? There's no follow through in this King of Pentacle energy. So we have in the near future the Page of Pentacles, this is the personification of Earth. And this is a very hardworking energy, right? Putting a lot of hard work into something. And you paying attention, though, you paying attention to the connection, you paying attention to how connected do you feel, because the energy here does indicate the desire or the energetic availability for you guys to have this, because Page of means a new cycle, to have this new cycle of connection. It's here. It is here, even though you're feeling kind of dispassionate about it. So I feel like there's got to be some sort of like within you figuring out, what do you want to do here? Because ultimately the final outcome is going to be the Two of Cups in reverse, which is a breakup for some of you. Some of you, it's not going to be so dramatic. It could just be a really big argument. Others of you, you're going to be feeling like you're in this space of separation. But Cap, I got to tell you what I'm getting. Some of you are just going to be straight up disinterested. Because it's like the psychological block of feeling very dispassionate about what should be a very passionate next cycle. You're feeling very dispassionate about it. But you're very aware of like the time that you've dedicated to this. And you're recognizing the importance of building something on very solid grounds, but that's really tricky if you're feeling dispassionate about something. So let's see what other energy we could pull on that. I don't know, Cap, those of you who are in a relationship, it does seem like you're in a little bit of a tricky spot. We have the Page of Swords, which again, Page is the young one of the court. It incites a new cycle, and Swords of truth. So it's like the delivering of truth here. And that's being clarified by the Knight of Swords. But this Knight of Swords is in reverse. So the Knight of Swords in reverse can indicate to me you're dealing with somebody who's very sort of deliberately cruel, or somebody who who has the potential to become quite violent in a relationship. Very loud argument. Because swords are words and truth. This could also indicate somebody who's very manipulative, somebody who does, a lot of deflection, a little too easily does the whole gaslighting jam, narcissistic tendencies. You can be dealing with this. So here you are, you may be arguing over someone's ability to come in and sort of manipulate the truth, manipulate the reality, and try to pass it off and sort of con you into thinking that that is the truth, right? So lots of manipulation here for sure. And we have this being clarified by the Seven of Swords, which is about dishonesty. And this is somebody who has a hard time recognizing healthy boundaries. This is somebody who's very, very selfish. And you're going to need all of your wits about you to really figure out what's going on with them. And that's being clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is you really wanting to take care of your body, your mind, your soul, your finances. You're in this space where I'm not even going to say self-protection. It's more about you being, you focusing on what you need to do to be very reliable, very supportive, all the right things in this relationship to ride something out, because this is a marriage card. It is. I mean, it's about, looking at finances and looking at the ability to grow in the relationship. So I do feel like, you're in that space, but you may be getting some dishonest lip service from somebody regarding all of those things. So this could show up as the sort of, no, we're going to get married. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to leave my husband or wife and be with you. Or, yeah, no, absolutely. We're going to get that house. We're going to improve on A, B, and C. No, I'm there for you, right? It's that tricky kind of energy, right? Because that's what's clarifying it. Then we have the clarifying the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, a situation being expedited here for sure, right? I mean, this is some sort of proposal coming in, events speeding up, blocks being lifted, decisions coming in. So if you've been in the space of waiting for something, maybe as a couple. So maybe you guys together as a couple, you're waiting for a project, you're waiting for the results on something, you're waiting, waiting, waiting. It does seem like some sort of results are coming in. And as a result of that, there can be some forward movement. So you're like, okay, I'm pretty excited here for a minute. And we have the King of Pentacles working with the Two of Wands. So let's go to the Two of Wands first, even though this is clarifying, even though the Two of Wands is clarifying the King of Pentacles. So the Two of Wands this is a good energy in that it's a Mars in Aries. It's about making plans, moving forward. This is a partnership energy for sure. So yeah, I mean, it's like all moving forward, good opportunity rearing its head, but there are two aspects to a situation and you have to figure out which is best for you. You're going to some sort of proposal, something's going to be coming in, and then you're going to be in the space where it's like, okay, hold on, wait, what do I really want? What do I really want with this? What's the reality of what's going on? What am I really dealing with this person? Because chances are you are dealing with somebody that is illustrating some kind of greed. So if it's not that they're funny with their money, it could be that they are not willing to really change, maybe in the way that they thought they needed to, maybe in the way that you thought they could, whatever it is. I mean, that's the thing with the King of Pentacles. It's this energy of greed that can easily show up. That has to do with relationship. Now, honestly, Capricorn, this could be you where you're realizing that there's something that's going to end up ultimately compromising your financial situation, or that you're being asked to change in certain ways that just don't feel comfortable for you, right? It's this kind of like, I don't know, I think I need to think about this, right? And then that's what's bringing you into this Two of Wands energy. This Two of Wands is forward movement, but you're thinking about two sides to a situation and you're like, I have to figure out what the right thing is for me here. To pull a wrap-up card, Seven of Wands. Yeah. So you're feeling very defensive right now, right? And your moral code and your personal philosophy are very important for you to acknowledge right now. And, stand your ground, because this is a very positive energy for you. This does end up voting in your favor, but it's annoying because it's the kind of energy where it's like, draw a line in the sand. I'm willing to do this. I'm not willing to do that. And that is kind of like a King of Pentacle energy, but I feel like it's because you're trying to figure something out. Is this the right thing for me? Is this the right thing for the rest of my life? Is this the right thing for me financially? Is this where I want to be? And again, because we have this TikTok, I feel like you're very aware of, maybe your age, maybe the time in a situation. You could be having these kind of conversations, but we've been together for this long, but deep down something's off. That does need to be looked at again, because we got it working with this build on solid ground. So whatever you're building, this next phase of your life, it's got to be solid. Everybody's got to be on the same page. So you have to figure out what needs to be done in order to incite that as we close out October into November. And I feel like because of the crazy retrogrades finally going direct, Jupiter, Mercury, Pluto, I mean, there's four big ones are all going direct. That element of decongestion is going to help you feel more comfortable to sort of speak your piece. Because first of all, you're going to be front and center with like, what's fair, what's not in this whole thing. You really are. So that's what I have for those of you who are in relationship. Okay. Now, let's go to those of you who are in separation. And I do know a lot of you watch both of these and some of you watch all three, because it's what relationships are weird, are they not? And so much of our energy has to be looked at and considered, because even if we're single, is our energy still with somebody from last month, 6 months ago, 6 years ago? Who knows? Makes sense though, right? Energies don't understand the man-made calendar or the clock. How could they? It's kind of ridiculous to think that, right? All right, let's go right into a Celtic horse spread, and then we'll pull some. Oracles. First card up is 10 of Cups. You just want to be happy. You guys are in separation, but where are you? You're in the Ten of Cups energy. You're focusing on happiness. What is your challenge? Ooh, Knight of Cups is your challenge, right? So it's some sort of proposal that speaks to your heart space. You want to be happy, but you want some sort of proposal coming in. Okay. All right. So let me pull the, making all these sounds before telling you what's going on with the card. So we have the energy here of the Ten of Cups is being challenged, as I mentioned, by the Knight of Cups, which again is about a proposal that comes in that speaks to your heart space, right? So this could have to do with, will you marry me? This could have to do with, but you being in that space of wanting this, but this is your challenge, right? It's an obstacle for you right now. This is a, will you marry me? This could have to do with the fertility, some sort of something coming in that creates a very emotional time within the relationship in a very positive way. And that is your challenge. You very much want to be happy, but it's not coming in. We have the Queen of Wands, which is all about you stepping into your power and trying to problem solve within some sort of situation. In the recent past, it's almost like you're troubleshooting, right? I'm getting like a very Four of Swords energy where you allowed yourself to step back to try to figure out the situation in a different way, right? And a better way of moving forward. We do have the Six of Cups here as the basis of the situation, which means reconciliation for some of you. For others of you, it's reconciling the fact that the relationship just wasn't working out. Now, a lot of you, the relationships didn't work out because of time. There was just a general lack of time. So a lot of times this Ten of Swords energy, it's a complete and painful ending to a really challenging time period. And that time period could have certainly been that there was busyness, having to do with every other part of life. For some of you, for others of you, this could be like, that's it. It's like lots of gossip and negative communication going on surrounding your relationship. And this is like, I can't do this anymore. Right. But whatever it is, even if it's painful, and it probably is, to allow this time period to end, there's a lightness that ends up following it. And it's strange how that happens, right? How we could feel an element of lightness even when we're feeling a lot of pain. But what's happening here for a lot of you, I'm seeing, is this element of reconciling what happened in the relationship, especially if you feel like you've suffered mistreatment. You're going to start to just feel better. Be very focused on your happiness and your joy right now. And look at this, the advice is keep working on yourself. Keep working on yourself. Nine of Pentacles is a very independent endeavor energy, and it's working on your health, mental, physical, emotional, so that you can open yourself up to a really healthy connection that's a lot better for you. The energy external to you, though, that you're dealing with is very Four of Wands. So this is interesting to me. Some of you might be dealing with someone new that you met, maybe through work or friends. Some of you may be dealing with that. Right, because this is external. Some of you may be dealing with the fact that the person that you're in separation with met somebody new at work or through friends. Yet others of you may be in a space where this person, they may want to actually come back, because this is a homecoming energy. This is a honeymoon card, right? This is a firm foundation energy. So somebody does want that with you, but your internal psychological challenge is this King of Swords. You can't not look at the facts of the situation, and you're not allowing. It's almost like you're keeping yourself stuck in a situation, right? Because this is your challenge. Looking at the facts, not allowing the emotions to rule the day. Some of you maybe, though, right? Because it's showing up as your psychological challenge, where it's really, really difficult for you to not feel. Right. Now, some of you maybe are dealing very directly. This person that you're in separation with, maybe they're a con man, maybe they're a bullshit artist, a little bit of a, somebody who is just not very honest. And you're realizing, wow, somebody was giving me a lot of lip service and I really need to focus on myself. And somebody might be coming back around to snoop, but you're realizing that there's a lot of smoke and mirror energy going on here, So we have you here in the near future. The Six of Swords is really in a very mindful way moving on. And it's at least manifesting mentally, if not physically, right? But it's detaching, taking a break, stepping away, allowing space to do some really good internal work. Some of you might even be taking a trip, kind of like getting away from everything here. But at the end of the day, we do have the Nine of Wands energy, which does tell me that you still have fire in your belly for this person. You know, you're tired of the cycles, you're tired of the nonsense, you're feeling very defensive right now. You may be feeling really negative when it comes to the situation, but at the end of the day, if you can stay balanced and you can not allow your emotions to wash over a situation, it does seem like it's going to end up benefiting you. So let's pull some clarifiers on that. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which is you just really focusing on work, focusing on your responsibilities in a very hardworking and diligent way. Wow. Yeah, look, but I feel like you guys are going to be in communication here because we have the Five of Wands, and that's being clarified by the Ten of Wands, where it's literally a lack of agreement, fighting to be heard, very rivalrous energy about how things just became too overwhelming, where there's this argument about who was too responsible for what, and there was not the sharing of responsibilities, where Capricorn, I feel like you're involved in something where right now you feel very heavily like the bulk of the load of some sort of situation is falling on you. And because we have clarifying that Ten of Wands, the strength energy, which is all about balance. So it's almost like you feeling like if this is going to work, right, and I'm going to have to be the one to show up and balance everything. I'm going to have to go in and stroke their ego. I'm going to have to go in. And that could be like you might be just really sick and tired of having to do that to a partner. We do have the Devil energy, which is another imbalance. See, the Strength card, it's Leo, which indicates you guys are going through something and the energy is available for things to get better. As long as you understand that together, there needs to be some sort of balance, right? The Devil energy does indicate imbalance because it has to do with addiction, selfishness, narcissistic tendencies. It could have to do with cheating. Anything that would create imbalance in a relationship is the Devil. And I'm not going to connect it to you. I know that you guys are the Devil energy, but I'm not receiving the message like that. I feel like there's a significant amount of imbalance that you can't actually mitigate, even if you wanted to. It's almost like, you know, you can't clean up somebody else's stuff, right? It's almost like a very Five of Swords energy where you, the reality that you really want to live and experience within this relationship is not in alignment with the reality. And you try to have the conversation and the communication, but it might be met with lip service. At the end of the day, they're just not doing it. There's no follow through. And you're in a space of self-protection. You're very concerned about you being safe, secure, and having what it is that you need. So we have the Magician, straight up Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So communicating to problem solve. But at the end of the day, what do we have? Smoke and mirrors. Hangman is Neptune. Neptune is that smoke and mirrors energy, where you're really looking at the situation saying, look, I could stay. I feel like, first of all, you're pressing a pause button, which I sort of like for you right now, only because this is a good pressing the pause season, right? Don't make any big rash decisions right now. This is not a good energy to be like, you know, I can't be in this ever again, ever in my life sort of thing. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because there's this energy of navigating that you're having to do. You're feeling very protective. It does seem like there is communication coming in, but you're going to be in the space of saying, if I do what they want me to do, or if I succumb to whatever it is that they feel is necessary to make this work, I'm wondering if I'm not going to end up martyring myself or sacrificing what it is that I ultimately want for myself in relationship. So I get some confusion. I mean, with the Nine of Wands, the Hangman, there is still emotion here connected to this, but it's connected to somebody that doesn't seem very healthy for you. Five of Pentacles is this feeling of lack, and it's the pain in the aftermath of the breakup, and just sitting with this pain and understanding that you have a lot more support available to you right now than you even realize. But understand that this energy, I feel like there are a lot of one-way streets going on in this separation read. And it can't work like that. Not if you guys are going to try to work it out. So right now, October into November of 2021, it does seem like communication is going to come in. Going to be a lot of promises, a lot of lip service, and no follow through. And that's where your eyes are going to be wide open, hopefully. Okay. All right. So now let me just pull a couple of, and pull an oracle for that one. Let me pull some oracle for that. Trust in the divine plan. Everything is happening. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to be. I know we don't like to hear that. We're like knee deep in stuff. Okay. Trust in the divine plan. Loyal heart. You're very loyal to some sort of situation. I need to pull another one. Clean it up. So if you're responsible for you guys being in separation, you might want to go back and do some cleaning up, or you need to go back and reconcile some sort of energy that needs to be sort of, no, I'm not going to say shut down, but addressed in whatever was drummed up inside of you regarding the situation not working out. Really kind of get in touch with what needs addressing in your life right now. Yeah. Okay, my friends, that's what I have for that. All right, let's go on to those of you in singlehood. Those of you who are single and dating mingle. And obviously, I'm assuming that you're interested in meeting somebody. I always find it very curious when I'm doing a singles read, and a lot of the comments will be, I want to be alone. Well, then why would you read a singles read? Why would you? Just to see, maybe? I guess. But let's see what's going on with you straight out of the gate. Ooh, you're at cross purposes with yourself. Yeah, Moon and Libra energy, right? That emotions having to do with relationship is a Libra energy. It's ruled by Venus. You're looking at what's fair, what's not fair. You're looking at where you've been, because you're looking at things in a way where you are feeling very protective, and you wouldn't feel protective unless you had reason to feel that way, right? So it does seem to me that there was something that is still sort of lingering in your energy that's making you feel very protective. And that feeling of needing to protect yourself isn't going to go away unless you call it out and you look at it and you figure out, what's going on with that. So this feeling of being at cross purposes with yourself is being challenged by the Emperor. The Emperor really is about meeting somebody new who has aligned values and is really feeling very confident and optimistic about getting into a relationship with you and moving forward. Right? That could be that. But for many of you, you're still feeling at cross purposes where you're having a hard time being the leader in your own life when it comes to your relationship. So you may still be sort of unknotting some sort of, weeds from some sort of past connection. We have the Sun as the basis of the situation, which we love, the recent past. We have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So you're not feeling very happy, not feeling like you're able to really manifest what it is that you want, right? And it could just be like, I kind of give up, that sort of very apathetic, it's never going to happen kind of thing, that Four of Cups energy. But we have the Empress as the situation right now. All right, lots of healing here, which is very nice. There are two cards in particular that I'm really liking for you. So let's drop this down so we can see. All righty. So yeah, so we have this energy where you're at cross purposes, are you able to sort of get in front of all of that? But dealing with this Nine of Cups energy, for some of you, this is just about, honestly, you might be looking for quick results up to this point. Where you want to be happy, but do you really want to put the work into the whole thing? I know that sounds funny, but it's like, really, do I have to? No, I want to be in a relationship, but do I really have to? And a lot of you are in that space because you're feeling this at cross purposes because there's something going on in your emotions where you're very indecisive. The moon is tricky enough because the moon rules our emotions and that changes every couple of days to begin with, right? And then when it's in Libra, Libra's the most indecisive energy. It's the landlord of the seventh house. It's the scales. It's like maybe this, maybe that. I don't know. Analysis paralysis. I feel this way Monday. I feel that way by Wednesday. I don't know. I don't know. So that could be kind of tricky because it's like, the hell with it. If it's this confusing, if it's this challenging, it's not even worth kind of going into. But we do have the basis of the situation being the sun. And the sun, this tells me it's time to grow a beautiful connection. That's it. Time to go. Time to go. Now, I do feel like, and I have to say this, there is, for some of you, there is an energy that's coming up for me from the past because in numerology, the sun is the wheel of fortune. And the wheel of fortune often shows up as somebody, an ex from the past kind of coming back around. But I feel like they may be more in your mind than anything else, right? The high priestess is connected to the moon. This is emotions. This is what it is that you're feeling underneath your hood. You're not really talking to anybody about it. So I feel like there are a lot of emotions that are going on within you. You're single, people in your life know you as single, but you might be in the space where you're doing a lot of thinking, a lot of reminiscing for many of you about possibly reconciling. Which is interesting because the advice here is the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords is about getting over past obstacles and getting what you want and thoughts becoming things, but you have to be very careful of what it is that you're looking for, right? What is it that you want? Now, there is an external energy here. I mean, well, I'm just reading the cards here, guys. This is going to resonate with somebody. It's obvious as anything here. Somebody that you dealt with before wants to get back with you. We have the Six of Cups is all about reconciliation. And this is also, though, reconciling. There is an energy that you're still in somebody's energy, whether you like it or not. And this can be the sort of mindset where if they feel like either they've caused any sort of difficulties for you within the relationship, they want to remedy something. And the advice here is to just get over past obstacles. And it does seem like somebody is on your mind. It's very interesting because then we have the star is showing up as your challenge. And this is the strength card, and the strength is all about needing to incite balance. This is about hope and guidance and a change for the better after a difficult time. It's like you're not buying it. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear that you may be destined to be with somebody. You're not into it. This is telling me, because this is in your psychological challenge, this tells me that you may be giving up too easily here. And the thing is, though, you might be a little too attached right now to a fantasy of something while overlooking the details of a situation, while overlooking what's possible, right? For many of you. And this can end up sort of drawing you into this sort of like false sense of security or false sense of that. Yeah, no, this is the right way to be. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm feeling. But there's some sort of like, I almost feel like this false narrative running here, Capricorn, that's not going to end up voting in your favor here, if that makes sense. So we have the Seven of Coins in reverse, right? Now, this is Seven of Coins in reverse is another giving up too soon. It is. When it's feeling like, oh, I'm putting all this effort into something and I'm not getting any reward back. I'm out there dating. I'm out there doing A, B, and C. Some of you, if you're thinking about this past relationship, I put so much work into that relationship and look where it got me. It's just, there's a lot of like, it's not even worth it. That's what I'm feeling here. But the final outcome, we do have the Queen of Wands, which is all about you stepping into your power but this is a strength energy too, right? And you being able to make things happen for yourself. This is about energized relationships, but it's through recognizing what's necessary in relationship to make something work for yourself. So let's just see what other messages we have here. We have the Three of Wands, we have the Eight of Cups, the Lover's energy, Six of Coins, Moon, Tower, Seven of Cups. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I feel like this is taking me through a narrative of some sort of relationship from the past. It doesn't really matter when it happened, but it was this idea of Three of Wands is a will you marry me card, right? This is a very important relationship, doing things differently, moving forward, but that's being clarified by the Eight of Cups. So there's this moving away from something that like sadness, but no regret, that was no longer feeling like it was the right thing. You know, because when it came down to the idea of choice, are we going to work this out together or are we not? There was this disappointment in feeling like things were reciprocated, feeling like somebody had your back, feeling like, you know, things were solid. You know, the Six of Pentacles can have to do with family, it could have to do with inheritance, it could have to do with anything having to do with finances, or it could just be you feeling connected, right? I have your back, you have mine. Right. But it could also be accompanied with several other sort of situations that may have played out within the relationship, but there being this almost palatable kind of disappointment, right? With the Moon, there's confusion, there's disappointment, there's feeling let down, right? This feeling of a true lack of trust that the relationship is going to be able to work out in the long run, ended up pushing you to making a particular decision, which was to end the relationship. The relationship needed to end, right? This is a Mars energy. It was not meant to continue in the way that it was. Very, very necessary. And clarifying that energy of something being over is the card of confusion, choices, extremes, commitment issues. So all of this could have been playing out and you're like, I don't even know what's real, what's not. Everything feels up in the air, but you totally feeling that it's time for you to start this next cycle. And there comes the Queen of Cups, which is a Gemini and Cancer energy. You know, being able to communicate and articulate quite beautifully what it is that's necessary for you to feel very grounded, rooted, and safe and secure in a relationship. So I just kind of feel like a lot of you, okay, these two want to come out. I feel like a lot of you are really sort of in the last phases of working through something. Make a plan and correct your mistakes. Right. So if you're looking at this, well, don't look at any relationship as a mistake. I know it's very difficult, but lessons are learned, but make a plan, What two want to come out in each of these? We have by the book, that's such a Capricorn energy, and regeneration. Yes, I do like this. So if you were dealing with somebody who maybe didn't want to do the kind of relationship that would be by the book, maybe somebody who, was really looking to have some sort of unconventional connection with you, and you can turn that into whatever it is for you. You focusing on that, but you regenerating yourself, you correcting your mistakes, you focusing on where have I been? I'm not going to go back to that. I'm not allowing that in my life anymore. And having that resolve, which is good, because I feel like for those of you who, even though there's a lot of pain here, Capricorn, I feel like those of you who are single, you're in the process of seriously wrapping up the final stages of making peace with whatever it was, whatever happened here, you're making peace. And it does seem like you're making a plan, you're going by the book, right? So Capricorn, right? You're going to work on correcting your mistakes, very Capricorn, and you're just going to regenerate yourself. And I love that, right? Because you guys are the 10th house and this energy of regeneration is the 8th house. There's a sextile there that has to do with naturally feeling this ability to just transform and let something die so that something else can be birthed. But it's this emotional intelligence that you're exercising where you're recognizing that you need to do some final sweeping out of the past, a final sweeping out of what you know is still lingering. It doesn't mean that you're not opening yourself up to anybody. That's not what it means at all. So let's just pull a final card to indicate if anybody new is going to be coming in, okay, having to do with this month. So we're going to pull 3 cards. Okay, nope. Not this month. Absolutely not this month. Not this month. Because you are working through, let me show you what I pulled, right? These are no, yes, or even maybe cards. So we have the 10 of Swords, which is certainly a no. We have the Swords, okay. We have the 5 of Swords, which is what it is that you want in relationship is not squaring with a reality of anything that you've been in. Does not. And you can't get in front of that. You can't mitigate other people's stuff, right? You just can't do it. And then we have the 7 of Swords, which is about dishonesty, right? You're dealing with somebody who is dishonest, somebody who's very selfish. So you're kind of like washing this energy off of you and opening yourself up to somebody new. And look, and this is a little trick if you're, because a lot of times it becomes very frustrating. It's like, what do you mean? We've been broken up for so long, woman. I'm totally over that person. If I say their name and it still triggers you in any way, you are not totally done with them. And that's a good little test, right? Because what's the opposite of love? Is not hate, it's indifference, right? So if you're completely indifferent about that energy, awesome, you're in a really good space, right? And then maybe this is not your reading. But if you feel like triggered in any way when you hear that person's name or you think about what happened, you're not totally done. Doesn't mean you shouldn't put yourself out there, but I still see you actively healing and not opening yourself up to fully meet a very healthy connection right now. You don't want to pull anybody in while you're still in this process of healing. Just go out and have a good time. If you're open, if you're into that. If you're like a dating type. I was never like that personally. Like I have a hard time, I'm like relationship person, it's easier that for me, for my energy. But anyway, you do whatever makes you feel good right here, because I see a lot of nice healing going on there, my friend. All right, thanks so much for hanging out with me. You guys have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week to talk about this sun going into Scorpio. Bye-bye.